cream puff ass bitch, it's Tom's Reaper here. Wake up! We're losing them! It's time. I've been talking about it. I've been edging you. Actual size. We're gonna fastback swap Masutangu. Last video, we took the world's worst fastback swap, chassis swap. Fucking fuck me, fuck my asshole. I can't fucking talk. I can't read the fucking script because I don't have a script, goddamn. Anyways, last week we took the world's worst chassis swap fastback and cut this roof off. Now it's just sitting on Masutangu. So in this video, let's do all the necessary fab work to make Masutangu better than it's ever been. Let's get to work! First thing I want to do is cut off the roll cage parts from the Honda cart before Masutangu. I didn't do this last time, and it always bothers me that all this random angle steel is welded to the cage. Watch your eyes. Now that all the old Honda cart stuff is cut off, I'm gonna start in the trunk area. Masutangu has never had any sort of trunk, so I'm gonna start by building some wheel arches or at least rock guards, and then I'm gonna build a trunk for it. Next, I'm gonna cut out this inner structure here that's rusted on both sides. See what I'm doing here? See what I'm doing? First part of my inner wheel tub. You can make anything you want out of metal, as long as you use cardboard first. Cardboard template will be metal right about now. I also painted the inside of it so it actually won't rust as fast. Woo! Now let's weld it. Sturdy now. Same for the driver's side. Boom! That's pretty sturdy. I realized these needed to be welded to the chassis from the bottom to the top so it sits flush and makes it easier to finish the wheel welds. So I cut them up in the inside and welded them all along, just like this. Don't look too closely at these now. I was, kind of stuffed in there with the welder. But a grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. Remember that. Let's make some wheel tubs. I decided instead of trying to make wheel arches from complete scratch, I'd start out with something that resembles the shape and size of a wheel arch, which happens to be a rusty steel barrel. I'm doing this so I could raise the wheel arches up to about here. There's a possibility Masutangu might, it might, you get what I'm saying. Whoops. I'm gonna cut it up. Perfect. Looks like a wheel arch to me. It definitely went too big. Honestly, not sure how well this is gonna work. I'm gonna use a piece of cardboard to kind of get the curvature of the wheel arch, because while it does this, it also does this ever so slightly. I'm gonna have to cut the barrel accordingly, kind of eyeball it. See? If you're wondering how I know what I'm doing, the answer is I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Alright, attempt 2. Now let's try. This looks terrible.
Just eyeball this next cut.
Wow! Check out the eyeballage here. Check out the eyeballage.
Perfect fitment.
Alright. Now, if my genius drawing tracing skills did the trick, this should fit.
That'll work. Alright.
Lots of trimming and prepping later. This actually fits in here pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld it and see what happens.
Who cares?
I test fitted the tire, and as you can see, it's a little bigger than the bucket, so I'm gonna have to cut the bucket here and flare it back a little bit. Boop. Well, that's right height. It's got plenty of room to go.
Not too shabby.
I just press record with a hammer.
Time to keep on welding.
Let's squeeze down with another piece of cardboard and make another patch back.
Fabrication's really not that hard. You really don't have to measure anything at all. And it definitely will not bite you in the ass, I promise.
You definitely will never get screwed over for eyeballing everything. You see this piece of cardboard? It's gonna be metal right about now. Here we go, little piece of metal, nice little bend. It'll fit in here, half decent. Now time for the back end here. Passenger side wheel tub is done. The driver's side will be done right about now. Damn, I am so fast. Believe it or not, this wheel tub took me over a week to make because I'm terrible with time management and this is boring. When building this side, I realized that either this body was pretty tweaked to begin with or my body swap 2 years ago just sucked. Because this wheel tub's about 2 inches wider than that wheel tub. If I wanted to do it right, I'd pretty much have to cut the entire body off the chassis again and start from scratch. So I'm just gonna try to remember that this is a rat rod and doesn't need to be perfect. The last thing I need to do in the back of the car is the trunk pan. I'm gonna start out by plating the back of a Honda chassis and then we'll make a trunk pan.
Oh, that is nice.
And trunk floor. Wow, that's a good looking trunk. Whoa.
2 hours later.
All right.
It's gonna take me about 18 years to cut this out. Ready for working. Alright, this looks kind of like a trunk pan. Let's cut it the fuck out. Alright? It's just about to fall down. Boom! Okay. Does not fit at all. I'm gonna lift this whole freaking gosh dang thing up. I'm really sorry for the language, guys. I'm just frustrated, you know? I've already cut myself like 18 times off camera. So let's put some gloves on so I don't do that anymore. Finally got that glove on. That took forever. I'm an expert body man.
Oh!
I'm gonna trim this probably 1,000 times over the course of the next 10 weeks. So next shot, this is gonna be trimmed and ready to weld. Now,
Toss this bad girl right on there.
put on my floor pan. Oh man, this thing's kinda heavy. Adding about 40 pounds to the weight of the car. Sick piece of shit. Like a clock. Boom! Off camera, I've put this in and removed it about 800 times. The old piece of wood usually does a trick. I love fabricating.
So you love how I'm just like wearing the helmet?
And not using it?
And not using it. That's a pro move. I like to look right at the weld while I am welding just to make sure I am putting it in the right place.
Fine, on yours.
Now when welding a big, flat, straight piece of metal like this, it's important to just take the welder and just do one solid bead all the way across, and then take ice cold water, dump it on there just to cool it off. Definitely will not warp at all. In all seriousness, what I'm doing here is laying down one tack at a time, not right next to each other, and also giving it ample time to cool off as I go back and forth. Because if you put too much heat into the metal while you're welding it, it will warp and not fit how you want it. So I'm just taking this piece by piece here. The problem with straight eyeballing shit like all 100% of the time is that it does not fit a lot. That's all I gotta say. I rest my case. Now that the floor pan is tacked in, I'm gonna screw in the back of it to the original Mustang body because it's so rusty I can't weld to it. We got some nice stainless sheet metal self-tappers here though. I'm like the Bob Ross of self-tappers. These are all my happy little accidents. Shit, she ain't sturdy. Masutangu finally has a trunk and wheel tubs. It's never had those before. I'm real tired of Masutangu being this rattle trap, this you know, this thing that you can't drive on the road without headphones. So in an effort to quiet it down even more, I'm gonna apply some seam sealer. I'm gonna wire wheel the outer edges of the trunk pan along with the outer edges of the wheel arches because they are finished for good, and then I'll seam seal them. I'm hitting a couple of the corners here with prep all because I'm going to be seam sealing them. I'm not going to be able to reach these once I continue fabricating on the inside of the car once the roof is on. So for now, I'm just going to be seam sealing outside of these wheel tubs and on the edge of the trunk. Already much less rattly thanks to the seam sealer. That's sadly all the fab work that's going to go into this video because believe it or not, while it doesn't seem like there's a lot of progress, it's taken me over a month to build all this. Keep in mind, I'm doing it from crappy, rusty scrap metal and bare plain straight sheet metal, so everything is custom cut, sanded, and welded into place. Once the roof is on the car for good and all the filler panels are in it for good, I will be painting all of this with epoxy black paint, so it'll look real nice, but that's not gonna happen for a while. This week's video was brought to you by, once again, Jack Spanier Racing, who was nice enough this time to send me something Masutangu has needed for a very long time. This here is a turbo inlet funnel. It takes air from the outside and siphons it right into that turbocharger. And as you can see, I can fist this car. So Masutangu's turbo has been eating rocks and dirt and grass and bugs for a long time now. So thankfully, my friends at Jack Spanier Racing sent me the exact same funnel with the screen in it. Billet aluminum, really nicely built. It's gonna look pretty badass in the front of the car. Made a little adapter to make it fit. Perfect. It's in, it looks cool, and it should actually help Masutangu not suck up so much dirt. So as always, visit jackspanierracing.com and use promo code TOM for 10% off your order. That's it for today. Sorry this is taking so long, but at the same time, sorry, not sorry, because I'm a very busy man and this is very tedious work. Masutangu has a trunk pan that looks gorgeous, and Masutangu also has wheel tubs that don't look gorgeous, but overall, I promise you, I'm not trying to milk this content. I'm just putting videos out while it simultaneously takes me a very long time to fabricate things like this. Anyways, thank you for watching. Tom's Refurb, the coolest damn automotive content on YouTube. Like and subscribe, or else I'll fucking kill you. God, fabrication turns me on. Let me tell you. Fat cameraman, you're looking pretty good right now.
Hey, man.
Turn that camera on.
Come on, man.